Hello and hi everybody. Welcome to day 3 of this very course. And this week is gonna be amazing as we are gonna straight away dive into AR stuff, right? So let's do a quick recap about what we have done till now in week 1 and week 2. So in the starting of week 1, as we started, we didn't have much knowledge about Unity, what is game development, how things work, right? We even didn't have things installed, right? So first week we installed things, right? We got a overall brief understanding of things about the windows, hierarchy window, inspector window, game window, and the scene window. Okay, we got to know a little bit about materials and stuff, right? And then we moved on to the next week, right? With a few homework in the first week, right? Then we move on to the second week. In the second week, we took a deep dive into component system. We got to know about scripting, which is really powerful and which we will be using now and then very much, right? To add behaviors, maybe to change things, to do whatever you want to do, to take maybe inputs from the user and whatnot. We also learned about a few of the functions, which are automatically created whenever you create a new script, like the start function, the update function. We got to understand about the life cycle of a script. So first, what functions are called automatically, what happens when when a component kicks in, when it starts, when the scene starts, the start function is called, then the update function is called every frame, right? Then we had functions like on disable and on enable, okay, which are called whenever we disable or enable a component, a script component, right? We also took a look on the folder structure, right? Before that, everything was messy. Everything in our project was right there. The materials, the scripts, the scene, everything was in one place, and it was a mess. And we couldn't find, as the project grew longer, not longer, bigger and bigger, we won't be able to find anything, right? So we got to know about a structured approach, my bad, structured approach of creating folders and then saving our stuff there accordingly, which is easier to see to the eyes as well, and which is easily organized, and we can easily access and get whatever we want to have. Okay, then we took some homework in the second phase, where we also, a few important things we are missing here, which we did in the second week lately, that was ray casting. Yes, we understood about the concept of rays and ray casting and how these things work. Okay, so now we are moving on to week 3, in which we will be getting a view of what AR development is. What is AR, right? In this whole week, in this 5 days, we will be focusing absolutely on AR stuff. What is happening in AR? How can we develop our own experiences in AR? How can we use multiple different SDKs? What are the benefits of those SDKs? And how we can actually build some AR applications and actually use them on our very phone. So in this week, you will be making your own AR experiences and you will be using them. And I'm sure we'll be sharing them with your friends and family as well, to see what do they think about those things, right? Because currently the scenario in India, like AR, VR, and MR, these things are now increasingly known now, right? But not everybody knows about them. This is still an upcoming field. Okay, and all this, now people know about it. Why? Because Facebook changed its name to Meta, right? Its parent company now is Meta, right? That is when most of people got to know about it, right? But the XR enthusiasts, the early adopters, were already aware about it, and they were already doing research and development in this field. But now things are looking pretty sweet, as our smartphones are very powerful and we can use AR experiences without buying any other thing, just right away on our smartphones. Okay, so today is the starting of third week, and today we will be taking a look upon the AR scenario currently, right? Currently in the world, what's going on in the field of AR? What different kinds of SDKs are available? What are the big players? Some big players in AR which are building their own, SDKs, which are trying to build their own culture and which are supporting this upcoming culture of XR development, right? So let's kick into it, and let me share my screen. And today we won't be doing any coding or something like that, right? But we'll be getting an overall idea about what things are. Okay, so in this very session you will get to know idea about what things are going on, right? Which are the big companies? Why are we, why are we so bullish about AI? which are why all the big companies are putting in millions and billions of dollars, right? And who are those companies, right? So let's get started. So first and the foremost, we'll be starting out with some of the easiest, the easy to use tools out there for developers and non-developers, right? For people who don't even know coding, they can also use these tools to create simple yet fun and engaging AR experiences. So first and the foremost that I was acquainted with was Spark AR. Okay, so Spark AR, what is Spark AR? I hope I don't think many of you would have heard about this, but I'm sure every one of you would have heard about Instagram, right? And you might be also aware that Instagram was bought by Facebook and it is run by Facebook. So this Spark AR, on Instagram also you can use filters, right? So these filters are nothing but AR filters, right? Because they're augmenting our realities, because they're adding something to our reality, they're changing our reality, maybe the face filters and whatnot. So Spark AR is a software which can be used to build these AR experiences for Instagram. You can create your AR experiences and you can upload it on Instagram and people can actually use them. Okay, so these are filter based softwares. Okay, and the best thing about these is that it's not necessary that you know coding. Okay, these are drag and drop tools. So basically you can drag a few clicks here and there and you can drag and drop a few things, you can use a few assets, and boom, your filters will be pretty ready. Okay, so let's see about this website and let's see what people have created, right? What the community has created, what are some of the most popular what do we say, the filters, right? And so this is Spark AR. Looks something like this, more or less something or the other, like a 3D software, just again like Unity. Okay, in which you have a camera and you can again use textures, materials, and put things on it. Okay, so most of the filters nowadays are face based, right? I believe the first one was Snapchat that was to do this stuff, right? And people were using these filters without even knowing that this is AR, right? Everybody was just having fun. But yeah, this is AR itself. This comes under AR. Okay, so these are a few filters that have been created by people, right? And so you can see about them, read about them here, and they have multiple experiences. And here, if you see that this is a glittery filter where you'll be seeing some glitter, right? There are multiple of them, like multiple of them, and how things work, you can also see that. Okay, so these were a few of them. Okay, these are a few creators. So these are creators who create their own, the creators are known, like the people who create these experiences are known as creators. Okay, Facebook calls them as creators. So as we just saw this here, so it will recognize your face, then put maybe this 3D text in front of you. Here it will do some camera trick there, and in this filter would actually give you some alien type mask or something like that, right? So these all of these have been created using Spark AI. Okay, and probably or it's not very uncommon to see non-developers also, people who don't know coding or who are pretty less code friendly, can also use such softwares, and that is the very reason why these softwares are becoming very very popular. Okay, and slowly and gradually they're becoming powerful as well. As you can see what kind of things you can create, right? You can add 3D objects, you can add effects, like this is a fire effect maybe on the hair, right? If I'm not wrong. See, yeah, so this is hair segmentation. So basically you can actually segment, like you can actually target the user's hair and do whatever you want to do there, right? So these are a few filters. Okay, so that is what Spark AI is, right? And they have their own community and they do a lot of challenges, so so as to promote their platform, they do a lot of challenges, they give away a lot of awards and whatnot. Okay, and these were just launched a year or two ago, right? Before that nothing was there. Next we have is Lens Studio. This is one of the powerful ones, and this is by Snapchat. Okay, and This is used to create filters. As you can see what kind of filters are here right in this video. This is used to create filters which can be accessed on Snapchat. So if I'm not wrong, most of you would have experienced these filters and everything for the first time on Snapchat itself. Like that was the very reason Snapchat became very famous, right? And you can see you can do multiple things as somebody is doing something with their hands. They're playing a ping pong here, right? And so many beautiful and creative, there is no limit to creativity. So as you can see here, food menu. Also Snapchat, you can create filters here which can also be deployed on the snap lenses. Snap, they're known as spectacles. Okay, so snap, yeah, my bad, this Snapchat has its own glasses on which you can run these filters and you can very much be engaged with them, right? Not only just your phone, you can access these filters via your this glasses as well, and see how you can use it. So there are multiple features like building segmentation, sky segmentation, and whatnot. Right, this one looks so cool. Okay, so these were some of the filters. Drag and drop filter making mechanisms where you don't need much of a coding experience and you can pretty much easily get started just by dragging and dropping. Okay. So these were the two major players, right? And Facebook is going pretty much into it, like in the XR realm, because getting funding millions and billions of dollars into this, and Facebook is into AR, is into VR as well, and like VR, they have already bought Oculus, right? Oculus Quest is one of the best-selling VR headsets, right? Oculus Quest 2, right? And they soon will be launching their very own MR headset, which is a mixed reality headset as well, right? Facebook is doing pretty great there. Snapchat is more or less, just stop, just limited to lenses and stuff. Although they launched their glasses, but those were not very successful. Okay. As a matter of fact, Facebook also, launched their glasses with Ray-Ban and whatnot. But we won't call them like AR glasses, right? Other than that, Snapchat recently, it also released its own drone. I guess they call it Snap Pixie or something like that, right? Which can also take photos and just filters and whatnot. So these were a few of like two of the major players in drag and drop stuff. Next, moving on, next we will be taking a look at Euphoria. Okay, so Euphoria engine is a product by PTC. PTC is a huge company for digital transformations, right? And they are doing some great work in this XR field. And they not only just have this Euphoria, they have a lot of products, right? Let's see a few of them. Let's see here. So they have virtual instruct, virtual expert capture, Euphoria Studio, Euphoria Chalk, Euphoria Engine. This is the one that we will be taking a look into. But they have multiple of them and they can do a lot of things with that, right? They are into XR as well as into IoT, right? And they have some softwares which can actually combine both of these things, right? So today we'll be taking a look at Euphoria Engine, which is one of the softwares to create AR experiences, right? And with the help of it, you can actually create AR experiences based on images, based on targets, right? And targets can be model targets, right? You can actually, maybe there is this maybe this bottle is taken as a target, and as soon as you show this bottle to your AR experiences created by Foria, this will have some AR stuff going on, right? Similarly, we have some image targets as well, in which you create AR experiences limited to an image. So, for example, if I have taken this KitKat box, image as my target, so whenever, as soon as I show this to my AR, like my app via my camera, via my phone, so there would be some AR experience triggered with this very image itself, right? So as we can see here, we have tracking option, model targets, object targets, and we have tracking environments as well. What does this mean is you can actually track the full environment. Maybe this is my room, I can scan it and track it. And as soon as I open the app, all the AR things will be placed wherever they want. Like if I place a drone on that wall and photograph on this wall, once I come back, it will be placed there itself, right? So this is what Euphoria is doing. Okay, and they have a great documentation. They lately released their own this engine update 10.7, in which they have added a few more support, right? And we will be looking at Euphoria in our course soon. Okay, so as a matter of fact, Euphoria would be the first thing that we will be diving into, and we will be creating AR experiences based on image. So those are known as image targets, right? Moving on, after this, we have Google, which is a big player in AR, right? And they have their own AR core, you know, this AR core software or AR core SDK, which allows to do AR stuff on Android mobiles, right? So it has its own Android SDK and AR, Unity stuff, and you can actually create AR experiences via this. Okay, and these are the fundamental concepts. Okay, let's take some time to look at fundamental concepts of AR. Okay, more or less these concepts are although mentioned in AR code, but they are very much common to most of the SDKs out there. Okay, so first and the foremost is motion tracking, right? So as your phone moves through the world, these slam these slam based SDKs, these AR SDKs actually take a note of your position and their movement. They're aware about it. Okay, and this is very possible very much due to the Imu sensor in your phone, which gives the position and the orientation. Orientation, if I say, so that is a rotation. If it's rotated, like tilted or whatnot. Okay, so this Imu sensor is pretty much helpful for this motion tracking. And with the help of this motion tracking, these SDKs can actually, make the changes to the 3D content and make you feel that this is just acting as a physical content. Okay. For example, if you move away from the 3D content, it will actually resize the 3D content so that this looks smaller, right? Other than that, we have environmental understanding. Okay, so these SDKs are aware of environment. They can actually differentiate between floor and tabletops, and they can actually detect planes and walls, right? And with the help of that, you can actually put your 3D objects and make them look real. Then lately, most of these SDKs support depth understanding. Okay, depth understanding is the camera or the phone is aware about how far things are from you. Okay, and it can actually see things depth-wise. For example, if I place a 3D object here, like here, and if this is a physical object which is blocking this 3D object, so the SDKs will make sure that this is occluded. Occluded means this is not visible on the screen because this is behind its depth, like this is depth wise far away from this camera. So this should only be shown and not this 3D object, right? That is known as depth understanding. Light estimation, that is a pretty fun thing, right? And that really adds a lot of immersion, right? Because everything we see, for example, this very bottle, we see that there is the shine and everything. Depending on if you rotate it, the shine also changes and everything changes. Also, its shadow is also changing, right? So that our brains are accustomed to see these changes with the light, right? But earlier, 3D objects were not doing such things, right? For example, earlier all 3D objects look the same, irrespective of where they are, irrespective of where the light is coming. But now we have light estimation capabilities, and we can actually see like where the objects are. Like, for example, you can see it right here in this example. So here, both of the kitties are 3D, like it's virtual. But this kitty is put in light, that is why it is bright, and this kitty is in the shadow, that is why it is not that bright, right? So this makes the illusion of reality much more, believable. Okay, so other than that, we have user interaction. That is, the user can actually click on the objects, do things with that, and whatnot. So these are the basic things, right? These were the basic fundamental concept of any ARSD, right? So this was AR core, right? And they recently added the geospatial API, which means you can actually create AR experiences based on the locations. Okay. For example, I can create an AR experience based on Taj Mahal, and as soon as the user opens my app and shows the Taj Mahal or is in that position, you can actually show some AR content, 3D content, and whatnot, right? So that was added by AR Core Geospatial API just recently, maybe just a day or two ago, right? So that was all about AR Core. Next, one of the most well-known SDKs for AR, great AR experiences is none other than AR Kit, which is an answer from Apple to Google's AR Core, right? So AR Kit is an SDK by Apple, which is used for creating augmented reality experiences. And here also they have multiple features. For example, most of the features are same itself, like image-based tracking, ground-based tracking, and stuff like that. Okay, so these are the things that ARKit is doing. They also have this depth API. People occlusion is also there. This is one of the great things. So this ARKit can actually occlude things if they're behind people. So this can actually detect people, and if people are coming in front of the 3D object, it will occlude. Like people will be shown, and this will be like the 3D object will be hidden if it is behind the people, right? Then it has motion capture, so you can actually do a dance and you can have a 3D, maybe a dinosaur do the same dance as you are, because this AR kit has the capability to actually detect your motion, and it can transfer your motion to the 3D character. That is also pretty great. Okay, so that is AR kit. Okay, so now lately, earlier these were the only two things. Like for Android, people had to use AR core, and for Apple, they had to use AR kit. For example, if I'm a game developer and if I want to publish my AR experience on AR, like on Android and Apple devices, I would have to do it twice. Why? Because first for Android, I would have to create it on AR core. Then, if I want this app to run on Apple phones as well, I would need to create it via ARKit as well. Okay, but this was a problem, and that's where Unity, interfered, and it said, okay, you know, let us introduce something. So they introduced a package named AR Foundation, which was a pretty novel idea. Okay, so what AR Foundation does is Unity says, don't use ARKit, don't use AR Core, use AR Foundation. Okay, and the benefit of doing that is if you're building things via Unity, you can use AR Foundation to create your AR app. Okay, and behind the hood, we will take care of what APIs to call if it is running on Android and what APIs to call if it is running on an iPad or an iOS device, right? So that is pretty great. And now, if I'm a game developer and I want to create an AR experience, I do not have to create one with AR Core and then one with AR Kit. I can simply create it with AR Foundation and then build with the same code for multiple platforms, right? So this picture would be really helpful for you to understand how it looks. Okay, so this is the picture. So earlier, this was Android device. You had AirCore SDK, then Google AirCore SDK for Unity, and then your AirCore app. Again, this was your iOS device, ARKit SDK, Unity ARKit plugin, and then your ARKit app. But now you have an AR app, which we are using Air Foundation, and depending on if it is on iOS or this Android device, it will automatically use the ARKit or AirCore, right? So this picture explains the very importance of AR Foundation, and you will be glad to know that we will be in this course, we will be learning to build with AR Foundation. Yes, you heard that right. We will be building with AR Foundation, and it's gonna be fun, right? So this is AR Foundation, and this is totally by Unity. Okay, so these guys are collaborating with Apple and Android so as to bring out a plugin which will automatically take care of change what to use behind the hood or not, and users can simply create AR Foundation based AR experiences. Okay, so till now we have talked about two type of AR creation tools. One is the drag and drop tool, that was Spark AR and Lens Studio. Then we talked about SDK tools, right? With the help of which we can create our own apps, APKs, or Apple applications. So that those were Euphoria. Then it was Air Core. Then it was Air Kit, and then Unity's answer to solution, Air Foundation, for creating just using just one Air Foundation and deploy on both Air Core and Air Kit. Okay, these are the two type of things. Next, we are talking about is an upcoming thing. Okay, I wanted to, although we won't be covering that in this course, but I did want to give you an idea about what is going on in the realm of XR, right? Because these things will be upcoming, right? Because currently the XR scenario is developing and is in its nascent stages. So there will be multiple changes, multiple more new technologies coming into play and whatnot, right? So, so next type of thing is web AI. Okay, now what is web AI? So till before web AI arrived, or the concept of web AI was discovered, or was created, people had to actually go to Apple Store or Play Store and download something, some app, and then they can use it. But people said, why to do that? Why not use the web? Why do we have to install an app, right, to use AI? Why can't we just go to a website and just use AI? So that is web-based AI, and it is the most frictionless way for a user to use AI, because don't have to do any downloads. You can simply go to any website which has web AI, and then you can see things. So here I'll be showing you that. Okay. So for example, this is a model view. So this is a solution by Google, with the help of which you can create 3D interactive models in web and in AI. So this is a 3D model here, right? How cool is that? That we are in a website without downloading anything, any app or anything. We are able to, have a look at this in 3D, right? So I've also opened the examples page for this, right? And here we can see that this page shows us that this is a 3D model. And as of now, I'm viewing this very page in my MacBook, right? That is why I'm not shown an AR button. Otherwise, I would be shown if I was using this in Android device or on an Apple device, no matter what, because this is browser based, right? So it will show me an AR button if my phones are AR enabled. Okay, this would actually showcase me a AR button, and with the help of which I can actually experience this in AR. Okay, and if you guys remember, this type of experience was the first one that you experienced in this course. On the very first day, I showcased a 3D model of a house, right? Water house that was to be seen via your phone using a link. That was web AI. Okay, so if you haven't seen that, let me showcase you here. Okay, and what I can do is, from the downloads, I have actually recorded a video on my iPad, and we can see this very exact same. You can see that I opened this very exact same website on my, what do you say, on my iPad, and what happened? Let's see. Let's hit on play. So here I'm able to interact with it. I can rotate it in 3D and whatnot. This is happening on my iPad. Okay, and here, just a second. Here you see that we have a view in your space button, because my iPad is AR enabled, right? And it has AR capabilities. So this shows me this button. Okay, here it is not showing me this button. Okay, but there on iPad, it shows me that button. So as soon as I click on it, right, my camera opens up and I can see my reality there, and this places AR content in my very reality. Okay, how cool is that? You didn't install any app. You simply went to a website, maybe just like google.com, facebook.com, similarly xr.com, any website, and you clicked on it, and bam, without any app or nothing, anything, you can actually experience AR. So this is the future of AI, and this is still in its nascent stages, although the whole industry is in its nascent stages. But using this, we are not able to create much powerful experiences as of now. People are trying to create tools like where like Unity, where we can use create things with the web on to be run on the web, right? We already have a few languages. 3JS is already there, right? React 3 Fiber is there, right? With the help of which we can create 3D experiences on the web and then add XR capabilities as well. And here you would see the thing that we were talking about, light estimation. So now see here, we can actually see the, the tint of the light, changing as I move my phone, right? So this here is changing, and you can see how well it is, leveled with the ground. And we have shadow as well, and see this light. That was pretty amazing, right? So this is web AI, and this will be soon, becoming mainstream. As of now, there are a few, obstacles for this to go mainstream, right? So this is an example of web AI. Okay. Another good example or a company worth mentioning in web AI is 8. These folks are doing amazing work in, this web AI stuff, and they have also said why web AI. So they say, web AR or web-based augmented reality enables augmented reality to work within your browser. It opens up new ways to connect with users by engaging them in interactive experiences, and all that without any app required, right? So the reach automatically increases as the friction decreases. The user doesn't have to download any app, right? You can simply click on a link and boom, you can see an experience. That's the power of web AI. A great thing to mention here is that this was the best company creating web AI experiences, and this recently was, acquired by Niantic, which again is a pretty good, pretty big company doing stuff. So see here, web on the web only, I'm able to, interact with this. Okay, and I can move things, and things are happening as I move. They are interacting. This is all on web. So this is 3D on web. So that is the most amazing thing. And in the coming future, in the coming days, you would actually see, the this capability of creating AR experiences will increase, and you would have much more wide ranging abilities to create AR experiences, and the demand for AR developers will be skyrocketing. Right? If you know how to use Unity in a good way, you will be, a diamond, right? Which everybody would want in their company. So I would suggest you to take things pretty seriously, because this is the time that you create your name in AR, you get your skills, because in the next coming years, maybe 4 year, 5 year, 2 year, 3 year, things are going to be pretty hard in XR, right? So today's session, I didn't want to do any coding or anything, but I did want to give you an overview about things, how things are working in in this XR realm, right? And I can also tell you that maybe if you're interested in daily such news is, you can actually follow a community that we run on LinkedIn, right? And that is Dream XR. There we try to post whatever happens new in in the industry of XR, and we try to post things as and when we get time, so as to give you an idea about how things work, right? So recently we have also posted a few things here, right? Like Facebook Meta has recently opened its physical store, right, where it showcases your XR devices, right? It lets you experience stuff. Okay, so news like such will be shared on this platform. You can also, if you want to, you can also follow me on LinkedIn. I also post different stuff about XR, what is happening in XR. And other than that, I'll be also happy to help you in any way possible. So LinkedIn is also the best way to reach me out. Okay. Like I recently posted this video of Mark Zuckerberg, who was trying a very new upcoming, headset. They haven't revealed as of now, but they're showing its capabilities. So till now it was in VR, Facebook and Meta, but now Project Cambria will be an XR, where you can actually see your reality and add this type of experiences. All right. So yeah, so that's all from my side today, and I hope you got to learn a lot about the breadth of the experiences that is going on in the AR world and how you can do things. From next video, from next session, we will actually be diving into things and actually be creating our own AR experiences. So till then, take care, enjoy, and have fun. Bye bye, everybody.